In studio, I'm joined by Raymond Muthe from the digital desk. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I know there's a lot happening on social media, but I want us to start with the former Kiambu governor, that is William Kabogo. He was here at Spice this Situation Room.
Yeah.
But Kenyans have been talking about his hairstyle.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so he was coming for a political interview, just touching up on his run for governor in 2 terms. Yeah. But apparently he lost in the second term in his bid for governor.
Yes.
He lost to Ferdinand Waititu, actually at the nomination stage. So he was talking about how Uhuru Kenyatta, quote unquote, betrayed him in the run-up for those elections. But interestingly, Kenyans were picking on his hairstyle, which they have said it looks like Moi Kibaki's hairstyle. Oh. You know, the signature bald head and a little hair on the side. A little
bit of hair on this side.
Yes, his clip has been trending. It's actually trending at #1 right now. And, Kenyans are likening him to former president, the late President Moi Kibaki, and, asking, is it his signature hairstyle? Maybe he wants to try and craft a re-entry into politics. Politicians have all manner of entries into politics. Yeah. But this one really got Kenyans talking. But some Kenyans also are lauding his bravery and coming out to talk about his loss of the tickets in 2017 and running for independent and losing again to Ferdinand Waititu. But this one on the hairstyle, this one was big.
Trust Kenyans, of course, to go on the lighter note, especially when there's a serious conversation. Yeah. But away from that, there's a land eviction situation with Gisha Kima's and you land. There is 1,000 acres. Yes. And there's that conversation, of course, going on. And we've seen there's a lot of land issue going on in the country at the moment. What can you tell us about this particular case? So the court, the Environment and Lands Court, has ordered that anyone who settled on the 1,000 acres that now has been termed to belong to Gisha Kima should vacate by December 31st this year. Now, this also comes at a time when we are seeing evictions in Mavoko, the recent evictions, the pronouncements being made by the president on, being a dignified country in terms of land and occupying land. Remember, Gisha Kima was very wealthy. He died in 2010. Right. And apparently there are people who took this land as their own and, subdivided it and sold to other people as well. Some people have been mentioned adversely in this case, the lands commissioner, the previous county council as well. Yeah. And so there were 4 groups in this whole story that are claiming the land. 3 groups so far have been told to vacate. There's 1 group that has been told the court has ordered Kima to transfer parts of the land to that 4th group. So Kenyans are now questioning, the process of buying land in Kenya and, the whole conversation around, ownership and, all these scams that have been going around. There's been a lot of scams, actually, a couple of them before, people purporting to own land and selling it, subdividing it and selling it again. Yeah. So some Kenyans are coming out to call out some fraudulent people here and there. We can't mention them here until they are taken to court or something like that. Yeah. But Kenyans are really picking issue with the demolitions and the evictions that are going on in the country right now. And just circling back to that into that statement by the president about evictions and being a dignified country. There's a lot of conversation around this particularly, but Kenyans are also anticipating that there could be more evictions coming up, but we wait to see. Yeah, of course, it's a very emotive subject, the land situation and the country and what we've seen happening in Mavoko and other areas of the country. So let's see how that really turns out. But I want us to talk about something else now. The fake lawyer, Ran Wanda. He has not only been trending actually in the country, but globally, even on meme platforms. I've actually seen him on meme platforms, people talking about how he's actually won cases and he's fake. And he's been released. Tell us about that. Oh yes, he has been released on a 200,000 shilling cash bail. He had been arraigned in relation to, of course, the charges that were being fronted of him, purporting to be a lawyer and appearing in, a record 26 cases and winning them. Yeah. That is a claim that has also not been ascertained. And people are now questioning, if it takes years to win a case in a small claims court, how come he won 26 cases in the last 1 year that he is alleged to have practiced? But also people are speculating his entry into politics. Remember, there was a video that was trending of him, wanting to purporting that he will vie for an elective seat as a member of parliament, and he has also been seen tagging along the former governor, Mike Sonko.
Yes, and we've seen it on his page, Mike Sonko himself being with him, talking with him, and that has really raised eyebrows in a way.
It has actually.
But also, you see what's also very interesting in this case is he's handled very big cases.
Yes.
For someone who is alleged to be fake. Do you think now, in your opinion, you can easily just go with a case and just win without doing your research or without having a proper background?
I must say, if he actually appeared in those 26 cases and won, he is actually fit for the job, devoid of all qualifications, because, I mean, it takes a lot of courage. And at some point, I saw some people online and some accounts posting that in Kenya, you only need a beard, a good suit, and confidence.
Right.
But of course, that is a bit comical of this whole issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, qualifications are very necessary as well, to be able to sort of put a benchmark on the profession and generally the kind of cases we argue in court and how we want to argue them. But looking at this whole issue, I think some Kenyans actually were surprised by him being released.
Yeah.
You see, it is as if he's a lawyer, he is charged of being a quack, goes to court, and then he's released by the same court.
Yeah.
You see the whole
feels like there's
that.
Something missing.
Yes, exactly. But again, we leave it to the courts. The courts, have the authority. But Kenyans have been picking on that issue particularly of him, winning the 26 cases. They are now starting to question. Kenyans have had time now to, investigate his story and come deeper into it.
Yeah.
But you also have some videos have begun recirculating of him, in ill behavior, in court, in the LSK annual general meeting, in public with police officers. A lot of this is beginning to resurface, but now he has been released. The prosecution had not provided compelling reasons to deny the accused bail. That's what Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyena said in his submission yesterday.
Yeah, and even apart from even what Kenyans think, there are leaders. There are actually lawyers who've been in the industry for a very long time, and they're MPs, and they've actually condemned the situation. But of course, it's like you said, there's that assumption of entering into politics now because the name is really out there. But I think this is a case that we'd see it will turn out in an interesting way after some time, right?
I honestly would not be surprised if he runs for office.
Yeah.
I will not. I honestly will not. Because, I mean, there are people online already who are drumming up support for him at this rate.
Yes, for sure. Okay, finally, I want us to finish internationally and go to Bangladesh, where there was a train crash. At least 17 people have been killed and more than 100 others injured. Tell us about that.
So there was a cargo train that smashed into a passenger train from the rear, and it derailed 2 passenger carriages. If you can just picture the whole situation of a train crash, they're very rare, but they are very dire, so to say.
Yeah.
They're like plane accidents. Very rare, but usually have very many casualties. So in this particular one, 17 people were killed and 100 others were injured. Yes, this is in Bangladesh, which is, a lot of people confuse Bangladesh with India.
Yeah, I mean, they're all from the Asia.
Yes,
so
yeah, so this was in Bangladesh. The cause of the crash is not yet clear, but railway services have been suspended and throughout the region, and people have come out online to, the international community has gone online to, send condolences and, call for, quick checks into this, sort of a post-mortem, quote unquote, to try and see what exactly happened and, try and mitigate that.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you. We appreciate your time. That is Raymond Muthe. He is from the digital desk, of course, telling us what's trending on social media. Right. I want us to take a short commercial break here on News Diary. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.